Shit. I forgot to craft ammo.
The incomprehensible story behind it will prove to be all the more horrifying.
I know how to use knives. Real well. Real well. Oh my God. Oh my God. Oh my God.
On January 24th, 2007, the quiet confines of Boise, Idaho would be changed forever when 42-year-old mother Judith Wyndham is found gruesomely murdered in her own home. Her 16-year-old son, Ethan Wyndham, would ultimately be the one to stumble across the horrifying scene. And so begins one of the most disturbing investigations we've ever seen. However, as authorities sit down with the distraught teenager, they can't help but wonder if his terrifying story is just a ruse, hiding something much more sinister. In the early morning hours of January 25th, 2007, Craig Wyndham is frantically woken by his wife. She tells him that his son, Ethan Wyndham, has arrived at their house in hysterics. Ethan lives with his mother, Craig's ex-wife, Judith Wyndham, also known as Judy. Ethan had left his home that morning, setting off to his father's house on foot in the freezing winter temperatures, all for one terrifying reason. Craig quickly gets out of bed and runs to meet Ethan in the living room, where his son can barely speak. But when he finally does, he utters a disturbing set of words. His mom, Judy, is dead. Craig immediately calls police, who were dispatched to Judy's address, as well as to his own home. However, not a single person could have anticipated the absolute nightmare that was just beginning to unfold.
Hi, Ethan. Dr. Stevens. Were you at your mom's house tonight? Were you sleeping?
I was on my couch.
On the couch?
On my chair.
Okay.
I sometimes fall asleep watching the movie.
Okay, I understand. And where was your mom at when you were sleeping or you were hanging out?
In her room.
She's in her room? Yeah. When was the last time you saw her? What time?
9 o'clock, I believe. Came home from my friend's dance.
Okay, and that's when 9 o'clock tonight?
Yeah.
And that's when you saw your mom?
Sorry, she was in her bed.
Okay, was she crying and awake when you talked to her?
Yeah,
she was in her bed?
Yeah, she was okay.
Oh, just that.
You just try to take it easy, and we'll call the paramedics over there, and we're going to get police over there and see if she's okay.
If you stay calm and breathe, baby should be okay.
Ethan seems to struggle to comprehend the unbelievable sight that he's just witnessed. But authorities are eager to speak with the 16-year-old. And Ethan has quite the story to tell. They quickly take him in for questioning, while another set of officers make their way to Judy's home on Normandy Drive. What they discover is disturbing beyond belief.
Want to learn how to explain your photos in paper plates? Download the newest version of Photoshop app, drop your photos in there.
There's one everywhere, guys. It's not right over. It's going to be a head. There's dry blood on the floor of the bedroom. This is that shot. Yep. Somebody do. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So we just there's pictures of a couple of kids on the kitchen cabinets, and there's a bunch of cards for St. Luke's medical clinic. Like all these kids are freaking blacked out some kind of medication. Yeah, there's a cool thing there. That one right there, that's your suspect. The bigger one. Probably.
It's something straight out of a horror movie. 42-year-old Judy has been murdered in her own bed. Authorities later reported that her face was disfigured beyond recognition, and it appeared that someone used a shotgun in the incomprehensible crime. However, police will soon discover that the deranged killer used more than just one weapon. The following interrogation has never been seen before. It's been analyzed by a qualified team, including a licensed professional counselor, a licensed clinical psychologist, and a former detective, former licensed polygraph examiner, and former hostage negotiation commander and instructor. The detective mounted a cross from 16-year-old Ethan. and they read him his Miranda rights. In the state of Idaho, police are generally free to interrogate minors without any limitations. Beyond constitutional provisions, they would equally apply to adults in a similar situation. The minor doesn't have to have someone present to represent their interests prior to questioning, until and unless the minor specifically makes a request for counsel or the presence of a parent or guardian. In that case, an interrogation would have to stop upon the request. The detectives ask Ethan if he would like his father to be present during the interrogation, but Ethan states that he would like to continue without his father in the room.
You can't tell me what happened tonight? I was sleeping or later, lights are all kind of, I got a little bit on, it was kind of, that wow.
Gonna have to go farm lead after.
The detectives jump right into questioning Ethan without spending any time building rapport. This can be very detrimental, as rapport building is not just about getting the other person to talk, but also to build a foundation of a relationship, which can then minimize the person's anxiety and get them to relax, open up more, or even to trust the interrogator.
I saw my mother earlier, around 9 o'clock, which would be fine, but when I started watching her, and I was asleep, but I'm not sure, and saw like, it was long lights were on, just kind of
It's noteworthy that Ethan not only says the guy was whacking her and stabbing her, but that he also motioned the actions. These movements were remarkably insane for him, allegedly just seeing the actions.
He been to the house. Okay, so we kind of have an understanding of what happened. And like I told you before, we kind of know a little bit about everything that went on tonight. Before we came in and talked.
I don't know. People said it was hard to find him on a public server. I'm
Ethan's
finding it
past
rather easy.
head nodding here is likely an indication of anxiety.
I never have good luck over here anyway.
From his traumatic experience of finding his
So
mother
let's go
dead.
check, see what happens over here. Hopefully we'll get some luck. I never find them over here. I don't even know if any spawn over here. To tell you the truth.
No matter who you are,
Usually I get lucky and they'll be right below here.
can pop up out of nowhere, causing inflammation that can lead to asthma attacks. But no matter what type of severe asthma you have, Expire can help. Expire is an add-on treatment for people 12 and over that proactively reduces inflammation, which means you could have fewer attacks, breathe better, and relieve your asthma symptoms.
For some reason, the berry mentats don't work in this building.
Expire is not a medication. Don't take Expire into a risk pool. Or allergies can happen. Don't sign the active tell your doctor if you have sore throat, joint, and back pain may occur. Avoid live vaccines. By helping control your asthma,
So what I'd like to do is kind of rewind a little bit to the beginning.
I wonder why the berry mentats don't work here.
When we were home with your mom, kind of had to start over. Because I think what's happening is you're kind of going down the wrong path.
It's no secret that Ethan and his mother had a tumultuous relationship, to say the least. But authorities have only scratched the surface of the horrifying nightmare that was hidden behind closed doors.
I did, but I had to go home early because I had this weird spasm over my body.
Even though he's answering the questions, Ethan is still pretty closed off. with his arms tightly crossed. Though we can't totally see his legs, it looks like they're also crossed and aimed away from the investigator, indicating that Ethan has his guard up and isn't super engaged with the investigator. The investigator should have engaged in rapport building before he started questioning him, because it may have prevented him from being quite so closed off.
So I called him my dad and his dad. And what happened after that? After that, you woke up sleeping from this afternoon. You know, with your boss. I don't know, maybe around a year or so. And I was just sleeping in the chair, just kind of watching some movies. Certain movies we were watching. I just with what happy accidents, what accidents, happy accidents. No. She was about to watch it together. No. She wasn't.
Ethan goes into a long tangent, setting up his timeline. He shakes his head no when saying the time his mom came home, as well as that he was watching some movies, indicating a slight brain and body disconnect.
Nice. I haven't got this one in a while.
Notably, he thinks about it, and then names a movie he said over and over, which is an easy way to keep the story straight in his line.
Usually I get one inside the church.
Ethan had a rather interesting taste in film, but there would be one movie in particular that he favored above the rest. Authorities will soon learn exactly which movie that is, and Ethan's terrifying reasons as to why he loved it so much.
I worked out with my friend. He lives across the street. Died.
Ethan's recent interest in fitness was growing into borderline obsession. Over the last several months, he had gained a significant amount of weight. According to official police documents, the teenager was consistently drinking weight gainer and may have been using steroids, although there was a strange explanation behind his found up. As he continues with his story, he states that he returned home from a friend's house around 8:30 that night. Judy was reportedly asleep in her room at this time. Ethan decided to sit down in his chair in the living room where he supposedly watched several films before falling asleep. He would apparently be woken to the horrifying sounds of his mother being gruesomely murdered. What I told you was a referral statement, and Ethan delivered it pointedly. You exaggerated head nods and a slight shoulder shrug when saying, "When I woke up," which indicate his anxiety and low confidence in what he's saying. Along with the intense eye contact he's making with the detective, it's clear Ethan is really trying to appear honest.
You understandable. It's okay. Yeah, you've been over to your house. You got the first understanding for now. Yeah, I'd like you don't for now. Something has been made up.
Did you notice that? Ethan repeatedly nods his head again once the detective applies more pressure. As As he talks, his hands and arms are moving like they should be involved with his words. But he's keeping them tight across his chest so that they can't betray him. He very rarely drops the barrier and allows his hands to be expressive as he would in normal conversation. Watch when he does use his hands, though, as they're often in exaggerated, slightly unnatural movements, as though he's thinking too hard.
As I understand you, you have some issues, okay? I understand that you got involved in school. I understand that you had some fights with your mom in the past. That's normal. I mean, that's what teenagers do, right? Sometimes you don't get along with their friends. And that's understandable. Then, but quite honestly, you do rewind what happened in the story. I need you to tell me. See, that's the part, listen. That's the part you're not listening. You're not understanding. I'm listening, but you're not listening. Because you're telling me. Right? And you want to hear me. I'm telling you, I just want to hear the truth. And I want you, why don't you worship me? I'm not going to tell you everything that I know. Okay? That's not an outcome process. Right?
Ethan is attempting to get the detective to tell him what they know and what evidence they have so that he can get his story to match and not give away more than he has to.
What I want you to tell me. I want you to be an honest man. Okay? I'm trying to talk me out loud. Tell me exactly what happened. I think you feel bad. Okay? I'm not calling you a liar. Okay? No, you're not calling me a liar. No, I'm calling you a liar. No. I'm calling you a liar. I'm saying you feel bad. This is what happened.
Oh, sweet. Yeah, bro. No way. Thank you, guy. Who just did that? Where the hell's my camp? Who's over there? Who's this dude? PS Radio.
The new 2023 EV6 Rim for $399 a month.
Ah, they already got him?
Ethan sticks to his alibi, but the detective is under the impression that there's something he's holding back. And by the end of this shocking interrogation, a crazy and completely unexpected revelation will be made. For now, Ethan is confronted by the other detective in the room.
And then put the bonus next to the yeah. There's a couple of things that tell you that everybody makes mistakes.
Dude, I hate this thing. You asshole. Come on, man.
Nobody went in the outside of the house. Nobody.
Despite the interrogator not sounding particularly convincing here about the 360 camera, Ethan's facial expressions give him away. It's like the look that a child gives you when you're calling him out on a lie. He clearly thinks he's got it together and has a good story, but he doesn't, and it shows all over him, especially in his incredibly controlling and exaggerated facial expressions.
Secondarily, I know your fascination with Mr. Ellis and the whole thing there. So I'm ready to tell him. You changed the answers. You listen to it?
The detective references the author Bret Easton Ellis, who's most notable for his 1991 novel, American Psycho.
Nice, dude.
Fan of his work. However, his
Dude, just help me out.
story has transformed.
Give me 1,000 caps. Just for buying some alien blaster rounds I'll never use, or at least not anytime soon.
The life of a mid-20s wealthy investment banker who lives among the Wall Street elite. The well-educated and meticulously well-manicured Patrick Bateman, who narrates the story, earns his fortune by day, but is a ruthless serial killer by night. In addition to its novel form, the psychological horror film was released in 2000. Of course, to Ethan, it was much more than just a book or a movie, as you'll see.
We can't call you on it, but what he's saying is we know what happened didn't happen. Everybody makes mistakes. Nobody wants you, includes your mother. And I know you want to do it. So that's what we're here to do. I think we're going to talk loud and heard. Listen to you ever over these mistakes. For no reason, first of all, do you have a difference between life and law? Of course I do. Believe in God? No.
After Ethan makes more attempts at trying to get the detectives to tell him what they know, he has a massive shift in his behavior. Prior, he seemed okay, but he's suddenly talking differently and even using a different accent. He's also dropped his barrier. One thing to note is that he appears very uncomfortable with the detective being in his personal space, and he's backed into the corner with no easy access to the door. However, this is a strange reaction to it being asked if he knows the difference between right and wrong. It doesn't make logical sense as a trigger for the average person. So perhaps it's something that's been said to him in the past.
Surveillance camera outside absolutely shows nobody went in or outside of your house. Do you understand that? Okay, what am I telling you? That is deal. Check the back. The only person, there is no. The only person that went in, there's no back door. It's locked. There's no. I locked that back door. Listen, the door is locked. A bad guy can't lock the door on his way out. I locked the back door. Now listen to me. If you say you know the difference between right and wrong,
I don't think there's going to be anybody here, but...
With this answer, Ethan throws his hands in the air, known as a gravity-defying gesture, which is a bit of an
Looks
odd
like I hit the
reaction.
train station and get rid of my weapons and whatever I'm not going to use.
Completely turned away from the officer. The officer is intentionally...
It's amazing how fast these guys spawn again. It was just a dude here like 2 minutes ago.
This officer is doing a lot of the talking and not allowing Ethan to fill in the story.
you understand that? He's going to say, Detective Dudley, Detective Smith, when you have the ability to go talk to you, Ethan, was he remorseful in what he did? Did you feel bad about what he did, or did you go, you know what? So another guy, I don't know these things.
Oh shit, my bad.
The 16-year-old was a top-notch student at Fora High School, where he took several advanced placement classes and excelled in his academic career.
Thank God they didn't shoot him. I would have felt bad. I thought he was a Scorched. Go, go, go. Run, dude.
What that picture there again? The municipality? What, are we rich? Are we rich? We could get a personal chef.
I'm gonna go to the train station. Let me check over here. People tend to neglect the front side. 90% of the time I find one over here. See? Whether or not there'll be one, this is the place that people tend to go right through the backside. And then they come through the front. Usually...
Tell us why you hurt your mom. She did something to you, or this was some fascination that you have here watching these movies.
Usually you get lucky.
Do you not understand this?
Sometimes not so much. It's all good.
Okay, have you ever even heard about things like this? Have you ever even heard about things like this?
Go back
Do you not
here.
understand the concept? Tell me. But the idea of the business world itself. Why don't you look at everything as a business itself? What do you think? And you know it's this way in your account. What do you think is going? What is going? The long pop shop. It's not there. You gotta understand. I don't think you know. I've been analyzing this stuff. Not believe, because this is my sponsor study.
It's clear that Patrick Bateman's fictional success in the world of Wall Street banking
Dick.
had a profound effect on Ethan. and he seems to think he's of the same mindset. However, his other likenesses to the character are far more disturbing.
Because, you know, I understand what he's doing. If you've seen his books, he's making you further that you understand. It's like that. I think right now you're scared. I'm scared. No, I'm not really scared of what you did, and you're afraid of what's going to happen to you. 2 5s. Or 2 10s. I can't remember. I think it's 2 10s. I can't remember.
Two 10s on each side.
No, on one side.
1 10 and the 10s are 20 pounds.
One side that has weights on it. They clutter.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen that?
How big on your bed?
How big am I then? We just bring the weight. We don't have that.
You said put the weight together on your bed.
Yeah.
You're a smart kid. Yeah, trust me.
Why
You're laughing at it. You're a young man. You're a very smart young man.
I'm smarter than anyone I know.
This may be a touch of narcissism showing, or it may be Ethan mimicking Bateman's character. At this point, it's hard to know what is actually Ethan, and what is the character that he's wholeheartedly embraced as his model.
And you know what? Street smarts. I'm gonna do this. Street smarts. I got better than any stupid idiot. Everyone I know, everyone's too easy to figure out. You know what I have to figure out what they want, the new term, but stay.
The ability to understand what people want and the right things to say and do to manipulate them to do what you want is a trademark of a budding psychopath.
You never looked about that, right? No, I didn't. I just had to watch them, and I could see you learn.
You're a smart young man. You learn this stuff yourself. You write books.
It's gonna have to be notebooks to learn to figure out people. Street smarts come natural. Street smarts are called street smarts for a reason. You have to show them no. They around here don't.
You get educated on the street.
I get educated by being myself. I can see people. I can see their needs, their wants, their desires. If I want someone to even decide stupid, I want them to, you know, if you like them, or do a favor for them, I can even do the same when they want to see it. I do that all the time to people. I tell them to my friends all the time when they cheat on their girlfriends. I tell them exactly what they want to hear. Fun. Fun to people are stupid.
If Ethan's rambling is true, this is the definition of someone with antisocial traits. Individuals with antisocial personality disorder have a keen awareness of people's needs, their wants, and their desires. Ethan likely feels a bit more comfortable with this detective, so he's essentially divulging important information about his personality and his ability to be manipulative and to lie. It's disturbing the way he views other people just by what they can offer him. But this is also very classic narcissistic traits. People's value lies only in what they have to offer. This could also be another moment of Ethan mirroring Bateman's character. Ethan has brought up how he uses people, such as his mom spending money on him, that his friends are only useful to him for better weights. He also claims that he's smarter than everyone and is always telling people what they should do, and points out that he sucks up to teachers and attempts to manipulate them.
Let's just forget about the parents. Okay, we'll get so hung up, so mad about the parents. Alright, yeah, let's just forget about it. Alright? Let's talk about your relationship with your mother.
If you guys want to look through all the clothes I have a lot of nice clothes. You guys need nice stuff. My cologne and my clothes, a long coat, that's $70 a day. Jumbo William, I spent $100 on that. And some noodles. She spends nice money on me.
Okay, no one's saying that she's not doing that, okay?
Yeah, but now you're telling me that I'm showing her for the Dear God fund that I'm so dominated and influenced by Willis.
You know, there's a lot of people, a lot of things that influence our lives. There's a lot of things that You know that, right? People get influenced stupid. You influence your friends a little bit? My friends? You should, because you're a nice guy. And so, people, if you have friends, you have friends. You have friends. All your friends, everyone kind of influences each other, right? That's why you have friends. Because you have things in common. That's why you're friends. I haven't got no things in common with my friends. Nothing at all. I live way too friends. You live way. Yeah, it's because he has better weights. He just wanted to work out. I just needed a better, since he got better weights, so why not take advantage of it? That guy's a little small little guy. He's got anything different from what I say? He knows I take him. Do you think that influences him a little bit, though? If you knows you can beat him up. I don't care if I influence my friends because I don't like my friends. Well, what are the factors? You said that only stupid people are influenced. My friends are stupid. My friends are dumb. I don't know your friends, Bob. They're idiots. I don't know your friends, so I'm not going to say what it is. You know what? Anything, when I give them a piece of good advice, I tell them what they should do, they never listen. It always turns out the way that I told them that didn't happen if they didn't listen. They're like, oh, you're right. It's like, no duh. I know how the world works. I'm not freaking retarded like you guys.
Even though it seems like everyone's making Ethan mad, he seems to be intentionally pulling the detectives into arguments to distract them, and it's working really well as a great deflector. They're caught up trying to argue points with him and engaging in a power struggle.
So you make all your own choices. No one influences you at all. I can develop little portions of your hat. I develop that. Sure. But I don't change my whole character upon that. I can change any character I want. So that's easy. Right.
Typically, when an interrogator offers a theme, such as being influenced in this case, they would move on from it if the suspect doesn't agree. However, the officer may be trying to agree with them, so he will calm down and move on. He's also trying to stroke Ethan's ego, since he's probably figured out by now that Ethan has narcissistic and antisocial tendencies. One thing that is particularly interesting is that this disdain of his friends also is reflective of the Patrick Bateman character. It also sounds like he's getting this from his books on psychopathy. He's molded himself into this person and just built his world around it. People with antisocial traits are often considered chameleons in the sense that they can adapt themselves to practically any situation and can warm up to other people easily in order to manipulate them and get what they want. It seems that Ethan did just that. However, when it came to his mother, he supposedly felt that intimidation alone would be enough to control her.
Create a backyard that's out of this world. Right now, save $30 on the GTA 26 handheld battery pruner. Real steel. Find yours. This story is becoming a nightmare.
According to police documents, Judy would become upset on various occasions when Ethan's friends were at the house. Supposedly, a few of the high schoolers would use substances, and Judy did not approve. However, Ethan grew angry and regularly argued with his mother, even reportedly punching a hole in one of the home's walls. But this was just the tip of the iceberg.
Your buddy over there, just hasn't done his homework on, just because I watch movies. Does he not understand that most of my books, my reference books, are all on psychopaths? The psychopathic mind. Because I've always been trying to figure this out. Who are you some of the greatest and smart wealth actually Donald was a sissy? This? And Tim down how many people did he kill? Oh wait, there's a higher deputy at times. Different people type on. He had a great eye. This man did so many things. Great forward. represented himself really great. He's been a judge. And he said, I'm sorry to do this because I would have loved to have you practice in my court.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that part.
Yeah. He said that the guy was with the Republican Party for a little bit, doing for some of that. He did a lot of things that were just out and amazing of character. But you don't continue down to one thing. How does my work? That's just, that's what my author says. You gotta do a good copy on this author. I like anything else. He's a good writer. But all the stuff, I don't know if they call for it, the writers call for it. But it's all about making it fun as a way. Certain things are. Because, you know, it's truly there, but, you know, they kind of get into a point of, I mean, you see, this is truly, and, you know, absurd.
Though these are accurate observations, it seems that Ethan has taken the contents of the story to heart.
But just because a person reads a book doesn't mean that's how their life is going.
Let me ask you this, Ethan. Have you ever heard of cases before, people before? And you've read a lot, so you probably haven't. Have you ever heard of people before who have been influenced by, listen, hold on, cyborgs?
The calm management and all that.
Okay.
That was all the people use us as scapegoats. Anyone can use that as a scapegoat. It's just they're too dumb. Of course, they want to hurt someone, but they're just too dumb to create their own way.
Okay.
That's how it is. People just don't understand it like that.
If they're not smart enough to create their own way, they have to be driven by somebody else.
They have that drive. They're just too dumb to actually make it happen without having seeing something or watching something. And those stupid Quentin Tarantino movies, good guy. I hate that guy with passion.
It seems like Ethan is going off on a tangent, but the detective switches gears and further questions him regarding his relationship with his mother.
What mom and I have been getting along for a while now. You know, there's been times where, you know, she died on my nerves because she said my friends were too loud or something like that, and she, like, you know, shut her door.
That's normal.
But, you know, and we got each other, and it's like that. But whatever my old man said about her calling him up, and she wouldn't even call that Israel.
Have you ever had arguments with your mom and your dad saying, if you stated that your dad's side?
Yeah, she does that all the time, but that's because she don't mind.
She's in the drama.
Yeah, she don't mind. My dad comes up the next day, and I was ticked. So I'm watching, this is when we had Dread TV. I was watching the longest yard over. I never saw that. I can't break that. He makes me turn it off and he's trying to talk to me. He calls up an officer because I walk out. I'm like, you know what, you're full of crap. Because he's trying to tell me how I should feel and tell me how life is. That has been around since I was 6. Been gone since I was 6. I made him cry. The officer man. No, I made him cry before. He tried to hold it in. And when I went outside, the officer was like, well, who's like, I'm going to cry. Yeah, we kind of do that. So, well, you know, but just to be a nice person, and, you know, to really just, you know, be careful. You know, he didn't tell, I don't think, he told the officer, that's the situation. I'm sure all he told the officer is that I was being disrespectful. Instead of he's taking money from him. I was like a year ago, 20 years ago.
Ethan fails to mention the terrifying reason behind Judy's concerning phone calls to her ex-husband, but that will be revealed shortly.
Want to learn how to expand your photos in viewplates? Download the newest version of Photoshop app. Drop your photos in.
They both your mom and your dad kind of real dramatic. They kind of.
My mom, you know, she's depressed. And I'm pretty sure that she was on the scale. Well, I mean, I couldn't, you know, she was at least on the scale. By the way she acts, I knew it, but.
Yeah, just sometimes it's tough, man, being 16 and getting along with your parents all the time, isn't it? I remember.
Well, I don't, you know.
I remember being grounded for a year.
Back in those days, that's what the parents did. They can't punish you until you learn how to catch that. And it's like, you know, you catch that man, they got no power.
Ethan claims that he can't remember the last time that he and Judy got into an argument. He states that recently they've been getting along. However, his definition of a harmonious relationship may be drastically different than that of his mother's.
You know, I was talking to my stepmom about getting in with someone because my dad, because I can't see him every week. I rarely ever see him every 2 weeks. But, you know, he says to me, my dad, you know, I'm like, well, I'd like to, you know, get in, bring someone that's, you know, every week. And I was like, well, you just do 2 weeks, you know, every 2 weeks. Be a lot less cheap. I was ready to slap that. I swear to God, that stuff doesn't even work. You claim music at bars. You get a little extra cash. Money is made all by the life. You know, and I don't even know when I ran in there. She always thought that I did that. That I was the one that did it. I didn't tell. You know, I didn't even know that way doctor was that today. I didn't even know that. No, I'm trying to hold a bomb in, trying to, you know, ball my eyes out and stuff. I've seen dead people. I ain't never seen dead people in real life. That's why I left. I covered up in mom. I started to wash out the walls. The lunch was a bit too sweaty. You know, I couldn't put the dog, the cat, and the dog out on it. The dog was shaking. You know, the cat, I saw her, she's using that, she was great. Because she don't fight stuff. I put her in there, we had some stuff for the dog, for the cat, and just stuffed it on the floor, just filled out some water stuff, put a candle in there, and just closed the door, turned off the light, and it was still blood. It was took kind of
There's a strange, sudden change in his speech patterns here, almost like a different person is talking. This is probably more normal speech for Ethan, and his other speech patterns have been him acting like a character modeled on Bateman. It's an unnerving display and perfectly demonstrates the way that a psychopath can be a chameleon, mimicking mannerisms and gestures that aren't inherent to themselves. Ethan states that he used a couple of wash rags to wipe the blood off the walls, but it's still extremely suspicious that he even cleaned part of the crime scene before going to his dad's house.
Outside of that house, everything went down.
The one thing that I know, my mom always takes me.
He's scared.
I saw my neighbor, one of my dad's, years, what he saw. But I turned it off to kids. I knew he was a certain way, but if he didn't, I can make this numbers rush. He question.
How did you feel inside the house?
Apparently, on January 25th, 2007, while Ethan's neighbor was driving around at 1:30 in the morning, he spotted Ethan walking along the street. According to police documents, he shouted Ethan's name out of his car window. It was loud enough to where there was no doubt that Ethan could hear him. However, the teenager kept walking.
But he felt like that. You can't do it. Sad. Yeah. Go back to your mom. Go back to yourself.
This officer is really doing a much better job with Ethan. He's much more relaxed and there are no major signs of anxiety.
Powerful, right? But do you know just how much power you hold with your hands? Unleash it by downloading Misplay. This app lets you earn gift cards for playing cool games on your phone. Just explore new games based on your taste and start playing to earn units. Then redeem those units for all kinds of gift cards in the shop. It's that simple. Before you play, you even get 200 units just for signing up. Now that's my kind of power. Get Misplay and thank me later.
That's what I'm saying. I don't understand why I'm not just doing this.
I mean, it's one of those things where you're the only one there, and I'm just trying to understand it. Because there's something to me, man.
Man, tell you what's going on. Man, if I really wanted to, when I put out this in the easiest possible way, I mean, like, truly, I mean, would it true?
What would that way be? What would be the easiest possible way?
Not the way she went.
It would be the easiest possible way. I don't think that anything would be if there ever misery in this way.
That's horrible.
I know she's gone.
You guys come back to the house, well.
I had some hairstyles. Oh, guys, it's not the way
That feel that. Yeah, eyes, so like that.
I got one that just say that it's a dull. What do you think it? I don't know. You know, because
it's a terrible thing that happened in Mom, and like you said,
I'm sure it happened to me.
It didn't. This is but let's think about, how terrible it was to your mom.
They had a knife.
Okay.
I don't have knives. I couldn't see this person who started. I was looking at a knife.
Okay.
I know it's long. Long. It's a longer knife than any of the ones I have. But he made me take the one knife that is semi-sharp.
Why did you do that?
No. Make it look like I did it. It's my...
Behavior had drastically escalated during the court. Substance use and aggression all increased in intensity, much like Ethan's alleged recent conduct. But that wasn't all. One of Judy's neighbors recalled the roaring arguments that could be overheard at Judy's residence. They stated that the altercation seemed to have recently leveled off. However, Judy apparently expressed her feelings of terror to them in regard to her youngest son. Despite her fears, she never gave up on working towards a better relationship with Ethan. But he was not so willing. In fact, Ethan's rage was supposedly morphing into horrifying acts of violence against his own mother. He'd allegedly hit Judy at one point, although the incident isn't clearly explained. According to police documents, he would reportedly go so far as throwing her against a wall during an argument before spitting in her face. According to one anonymous statement, Ethan reportedly claimed, "I hate my mom. I want to kill her." In addition, police would learn that Ethan apparently told his brother that Judy would eventually get what she deserved.
She had no control. She had no discipline. I thought, before I heard the weapon thing earlier that day, I thought, I bet he did snap. They were arguing or something. He just snapped and told the crap out of her.
Judy was living in constant fear, yet she still wanted nothing but the best for her child. And everyone could see that, but Ethan, he wouldn't be satisfied until he got exactly what he wanted, even if it meant committing the unthinkable.
He hits his mark center stage and is crushed by a baby grand piano. You're replacing me?
Customizing save with the... One way, come into your house and sneak around. Go to your weight room. I mean, how would anyone know where your weights are?
If they come to that window, then you just found the weights.
Okay, so if you were going to come to someone's house and count on weights and manipulate these weights using the weapon, what would make you pick those weights up from the room that you already go into and adjoining room, or not adjoining room, but another room, and then manipulate those weights in another room before going out into the hallway? That sounds like someone crazy. Pretty big guy must be a big strong guy sitting in a chair. Small mother sleeping in her bed. And that comes in the house and manipulates his weight in the room. And comes out. Trying to keep your mother. Trying to see the breath of her.
I'm not spending that much time here. Two? Serious?
What's that book called? It's called Man the Cycle. Okay. So on top of that, you read all the stuff. I did that, yeah. You see in the morning. Every morning you get it.
Wake up, 6:45. Usually sleep there a little bit. Take a shower, put my contacts in, take a shower. Then I go, sometimes I have my clothes already out. Other times I just, grab my clothes right up.
You ever put any stuff on your face?
Not usually, I don't have enough time.
Yeah, you've done that in the past. It's kind of a routine you get in the morning. You just cream stuff on your face.
Cream stuff.
That stuff.
I use a mask. I use a mask. I don't. Sense relax into your face.
This is intriguing, considering that Patrick Bateman had a very elaborate morning routine that included exercise as well as a multi-step skincare regimen that he followed religiously. Of course, what 16-year-old boy wouldn't enjoy using a calming face mask? Or at least Ethan would like us to believe that he wasn't modeling his own behavior after that of his fictional bloodthirsty idol. It only becomes more eerie from here.
I'm thinking how little studying I've done on actual serial killers. All those books. If you like to read them, one thing is a book I read. You know, if you read through them, most of them aren't about killers. Most of them are about the particular type. The type that just live on every day. They're everyday citizens. Don't get into big trouble. The psychopath books by Robert D. Hale.
Is there a series on it?
He the one that actually created the PCLR. It's the psychopathy checklist.
It's ironic that Ethan talks so much about how most of the books he reads are about manipulative people, and he starts to describe himself. He's been playing semantics and going down rabbit holes to avoid talking about the real issue, which is who killed his mother. Even at this point, Ethan is still trying to manipulate the officer and trying to take control of where this is going. However, the officer does a good job staying focused. Ethan's fascination with the criminal mind was of particular notice to his teachers. During one class, Ethan apparently expressed to his fellow students that he was having thoughts of killing. Chillingly, he went on, supposedly claiming that there would be times when the thought was so overwhelming that he was unable to sleep. Ethan reportedly mentioned that he doesn't feel love or any emotion for that matter, and allegedly confided in 2 separate anonymous sources that he wanted to be a psychopath and a famous serial killer. In addition, he apparently spoke with one of his classmates, reportedly stating something along the lines of ripping her head off, before supposedly laughing in her face.
American Psycho is thing that has to do with real psychos.
I didn't expect that to be one, yeah.
False that is from how actual psychopaths are.
I don't usually go to the places that have such close bonds.
He's so
Like such few enemies.
and so well mannered that it's impossible. Most psychopaths are impulsive. They don't respond well to irritability. This guy's too well nice and acts good around people, and he's not as manipulative as an actual psychopath is. It's just a book.
It was almost as if he wanted to be exactly like Patrick Bateman. Ethan supposedly began to dress in business suits while carrying a briefcase, just as the fictional character does. But most perplexing was his shift in behavior, as his cold and callous demeanor was something that he wore almost as a badge of honor.
And she would be in tears and pretend that, that they had an altercation. Generally, it seemed like it was he'd want friends over, and she wouldn't allow it, and kind of just normal stuff that I think that he could push her around and get away with it. I never had any problems like that. She'd call me up frantic.
That's the thing you want to talk about.
Like what? I'm asking you, so I'm getting ready to walk out of here. So I'm not giving you the opportunity to think you want to have today.
I did, definitely.
All right, we'll do the rest of your second. Okay?
No, wait. Okay, so what happened? Okay, how long do you want me?
Ethan, I'll be honest with you, okay? You and your mother were in that home, okay?
I don't know what you guys' opinions.
And only you and your mother.
I don't know what you guys' opinions. I'm just asking you. I didn't ask what your opinion was. I didn't know what it was.
What are you asking?
How long are you going to be here? And then what am I going from here?
Not much longer. How much longer side are you going to go from here?
Huh?
And not on the side are you going to go from here?
Listen, I usually have pretty good luck here. Ooh, we got 2 at least.
Or, I think you're going to jail.
Yeah, will I get my own cell?
You're not going to, no, thanks to you.
Do I get my own cell?
I don't know. I don't run to jail. Why do you think your own stuff?
Well, no, I just like to be more alone and have to ensure with some guy. You guys get to sleep. I don't have any contacts with either.
Ethan doesn't seem to understand the magnitude of the harrowing situation at hand. His own mother is dead, but he simply doesn't care.
I've been nice, but, you know, I feel.
Different. I want to see him. You don't have to.
No, I don't.
Where's that kid at?
But why?
Why am I being mean? How am I being mean? I sent you to jail.
No, I'm saying, no, for even choosing with that, then telling me that these things, then telling me I'm lying, and then also, you tell me, you tell people that comes from the big stage.
Let's be smart first. Alright? You killed your mother.
Wait.
Tell me that.
Tell me the truth, and I can arrange for you to get your own cell. That I can promise you.
There is a law in a few states that is called the Hope of Benefit Clause. Basically, it says that a confession is inadmissible if it was induced by the remotest fear of injury. This is very rare, and it usually involves a statement made after the person is threatened to be physically harmed, or promised that they would receive a lesser sentence if they confess. In this case, Ethan asked for a private cell, and the officer said he would see what he could do. The officer also said, "Tell me the truth and I will give you the cell." However, it's important to remember that the Supreme Court has said that police can lie to suspects, and the officer could be lying. In this case, though, it's not coercion because Ethan said he would tell the truth if he got his own cell, and the officer knows that this is a juvenile case, and because of the charges, would get his own cell anyway.
Sure, I guess I did.
I guess I did or I didn't.
Yeah, did it.
How did you do it?
A whack in the head.
Okay, how'd you whack her in the head?
Easily.
Okay, how easy was it? Alright.
That's how easy it was.
Okay, tell me about it.
What do you want to know?
Start from west. What started it?
I was up at night. I've been having lots of experiences. I tried to calm myself down. It was just a calling. It was a growing inside me. I told my psychiatrist, my therapist, it has been growing inside my whole time. It was child. The time. It's a growing inside.
What's growing inside you?
It's chill.
I'm killing.
And chill.
This is almost a direct quote from Patrick Bateman. "It's growing inside of me, the need for killing."
If you're managing a construction business, it's costing you to keep track of crews and the hours they really...
And that fostered into you last night, pains in your body.
I don't know where it happened. I don't know where it was. Pain in my body, I don't even know what the hell those were. They weren't even pain, they were just funny aches. Made me off balance.
This is what happened last night, tell me.
Because I felt late. Couldn't sleep right. It just happened from there.
I'll do something to make you mad.
Oh.
See what?
No, please, no, please, no. No, this isn't fair, no, please. No.
The uncle's the president. You would have. I don't want to hurt.
Now, this one got arrested because she put her hands on her boyfriend, But the story gets even more interesting because her boyfriend turns into a Captain Save-A-Hope who tries to do everything in his power to get her to avoid the charges. He even name drops his uncle. He becomes somewhat of a Karen himself. But before we get to that, make sure to go subscribe to my wife's channel, Law Body Cam, where you'll find more awesome body cam videos just like this one. The link is in the description. With that out of the way, let's get right into it.
I know what I'm just saying. I don't know. He didn't want to pay. He didn't want to pay for his registration, so he lost his license, which is why I took him out. So the reason why we got into a fight is because he left, and then I was hanging out with people, and then I was like, listen, like we're not gonna do this. Trust me. And then he came over, and then we got into an argument, we got into a car, and then they left. I have no idea what kind of argument did you guys get into? It was just a vocal argument. Yeah, it really wasn't like I could stop all the time. No. It wasn't physical. It wasn't physical. It wasn't physical. It was never physical. Did you ever slap him or anything like that? No. But, no. No. So he never tried to, like, hold your hands or anything to stop you from slapping him or anything like that? No. It was just like a verbal altercation. And then he got into the car and he drove away. And then I tried to attach myself to the car. But he also, like, earlier, like, it was just, like, it was stupid. Like, I don't know. I think that, because we get into arguments a lot, and we got into the car just wanting to leave, because every time we get into fights, he just wants to leave on the street. So we got into the car, and then the car left, and when you were inside, did anybody see him push you? No, it wasn't like that. It wasn't like a, okay, I don't want, it was like, it was, okay, when I see push, I don't mean like it was, like we didn't push each other, like it was like trying to hurt each other. It was like football, like, ah, yeah. So it's really not a big deal. Show you how positive it is. It's really not a big situation. I know you guys are here, like I know that Florida law, like you have to come and arrest someone. Okay, well, honestly, I just want to go home. Like, I don't want to deal with this right now. I just want to go home. Can someone just now, please? Okay. Sorry, that one hurts.
Wow, there's a lot to unpack already. First of all, she's saying that as she was driving off, she attached herself to the moving car. How insane can you be? And second of all, if you're going to have an altercation with your boyfriend in public, and you decide to self-snitch and call the cops, obviously you're going to get in trouble.
Do you have anything else? I saw your knees kind of have like a spot there. No, there's that. That's pretty much it. Your ankle? Yeah. I don't know about. Hey! What are you doing? Hey, what are you doing? Why am I? Wait. No, please. Wait. Why am I being arrested? Wait, am I being arrested? Am I being arrested? No, please. No, wait. Why am I being arrested? No, please. No, why am I being arrested?
I'll explain it in just one second.
No, I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. No, I didn't do anything. No, please. No.
People really think crying is going to get them out of going to jail? She's still saying no?
This is not fair. Please, no.
understand you're a bad person, but you made a mistake. And I'm sorry. Explaining everything to you right now, okay? So, basically, I have your story.
Yeah, I got one more day. It's right there in my pocket.
Alright, we're rolling on your side. Easy, easy, easy.
Watch it, guys. Yeah, I got one more day.
HBA? What do you think?
Up there. He's on the balcony. He's either up there or he's up to this fucking thing. Ah, he's in here. Oh.
Stand it up. Lean to the right, lean to the right. Sit up. Stand up one. That's it? Yeah, that was in the first fire. She ran back. No. Yes.
What do you got on you? What do you have on your dresser? I'm from on my sleeve.
Don't move.
I don't got nothing. I promise I ain't got nothing.
Do you sign that? You hear or didn't say anything to me, okay? You have the right to remain silent. Anything that you say can be used against you in the court of law. You have the right to an attorney. You can either forward or won't be appointed to you free of charge by the courts. You can choose to exercise these rights, denying these statements and questions. Do you understand? Okay. She's running.
For the sake of maintaining a consistent tone throughout the Athena or fight,
Yeah, let me show you the tape.
2-year-old Deshaun Martinez lying on the floor of the family's bedroom, unresponsive and deceased. They initially tried to give Deshaun CPR, but were unable to open his mouth because his jaw was locked in place. Police arrived shortly thereafter, and Archibald, her husband, Anthony Martinez, and his mother, Anne-Marie Martinez, who owned the house they were staying in, were brought in for questioning. Today we're going to be looking at Elizabeth's interrogation, specifically the first hour or so. The total length of the interrogation clocks in at around 6 hours, so I decided it would be best to look at the interrogation in different phases, which happens to line up nicely with the general narrative and employment of techniques. One thing I wanted to mention before we get started is that the audio quality for this interrogation is rough. The main issue is that Archibald is very quiet and the detective is very loud, so I had to pull out all the stops to make the earbuds have terribly...
Tissues if you'd like some tissues and a water bottle.
Oh, I thought I loaded. Shit.
Yeah, I'd like to try to figure out what happened and whatnot. This is what's your date of birth? Where do you guys live? Or old do you live?
We're in family. We're homeless. It doesn't say as much.
Say what?
It just doesn't say as much. Because we're homeless.
Okay. Can I ask a favor of you? I have an ear infection going on in my left ear. I'm having a hard time hearing out my left. Tell me about your kids. Oh, when we went to bed last night. Oh. When we went to bed last night. Oh. So, like, as far as in regards to today, tell me about everything about today. Oh. When we went. Oh. When it, has anything like this happened before? You haven't had any other issues with him sleeping or sleep apneas or hard time waking up or anything?
He's a strong, heavy sleeper when he's on.
I mean, obviously, one of the things we do in child deaths is it's rare, right? It's an anomaly. Usually, it's not like you can say it's a natural thing most times because usually that's old people that, this is what happens when people die. Younger people, that's not expected. So a lot of times what we'll do is autopsies and stuff like that to kind of figure out what's going on. Is there going to be anything in that autopsy that's going to come back that's going to be a surprise where you would think, man, this is something he got into?
Because he wasn't keeping me away long. It has to be. Because if it wasn't that, it's like he got into something. Because I don't know. I've never seen a dead body before. I don't know if it's normal to be foaming, not really foaming, but like drawing bubbles and stuff at the mouth. If that's normal or not. Do you know?
Depends. Depends on the situation, and that's what we will find out. Not foaming?
It was like just drool, like thick drool. It wasn't like actual like foam. I don't know if it's foam.
How did he feel?
Feel?
Mm-hmm.
Tired or?
Yeah.
Felt cool. Because I opened his mouth when I tried to do some walls or around it.
What do you mean you couldn't open his mouth?
I went like this to try to get his mouth open and it wasn't open.
Mouth was thick, the jaw was locked? Were you able to eventually get it open?
And the cop came in to continue the CPS after. Or for what I was doing, he couldn't either. He said, I can't open his mouth.
How the rest of his body feel? Malleable? Stiff? Hard?
Yes.
Check.
And then his skin was his ass on the floor. He was screaming. He wasn't. He was pushing each other's stomach.
What other things around the house that you could possibly have into?
Oh.
You were in the bathroom all the time, right? So it couldn't be in the bathroom.
I've gotten into anything like the night before or anything.
Well, I don't care. What about like drugs? Prescription or illicit? Do you use any kids? No marijuana, nothing. Any anxiety?
Because I don't but I don't have any of them. I don't have any friends or anything.
No prescription or anything like that? What about Anthony? Does he ever use any illegal drugs?
Even when he was a kid, because of his dad, and he used to. Not since I've been with him.
So there's no codeines or malls or meth or anything around the house or anything like that? A lot of chemicals to clean the house?
When he keeps all that stuff in her room, and he doesn't go in because she knows like boxy stuff, and, like against her walls, so she doesn't help him knocking over and stuff. And but all that stuff she leaves in her closet. Everything's really loud and dish soap and his body wash and...
Would you say they got normal with that?
It's just like a pump handle, so I didn't take it away and like it was empty or anything.
After over an hour of taking things easy and giving Liz a chance to speak, the detective realizes that he's not making any headway, so he needs to change up his approach. He begins to drop the mild mannered act, and clearly labels in his notes that it's time for the initial confrontation with Elizabeth.
I'm not a doctor.
Unless it's...
Right. I'm not a doctor. I just know that the other son looks significantly small compared to other kids his age. And so like Deshaun was also kind of small in stature as well. I don't know if just taking a little bit of soap or a little bit of this.
So that seems to be a really good way to do it.
And if you only had 5 pills.
Pretty consistent.
The main cause is going to be because his...
you can cut down this load screen,
because he has some fat on him.
the whole load.
If there's no fat
You're
on
getting
and you took
a lot of them.
Like, how long ago?
I gotta make sure I go do the spook treat bag thing.
It's already taken effect on the body then.
Yeah, that's what
But not now, you know what I mean?
He did. He lost weight after that.
How much weight do you think he lost?
Level 1.
Probably like 8 to 10 pounds.
Oh, come on, dude. Load.
That's
there
why
you go.
Henry's been giving him.
Well, they spotted me out here.
So probably food or stuff to try and get his weight back up. And it wasn't working. He wasn't gaining. That's when he was supposed to get it.
Check out this fashionable O-ring. For only 55 cents, you'll never go unnoticed. Unique design. Adjustable size. Perfect for animal-themed jewelry lovers. Download and shop on Temu now.
The Sephora Savings Event is here, so get excited because all the beauty you love is on sale. Get 30% off all Sephora collection. Also, Beauty Insiders will get 10% off the rest of your purchase. Shop at Sephora and Sephora Queens.
Can you share his sweet next week? Whatever, so.
Right when I'm saying it's pretty consistent was not here.
Do you think there's anything that I haven't asked you if I need to know right now, or you're a foolish plan up there to stop me feeling for it? I understand this is difficult. I was not saying you need to just figure out what happened.
I'll do one more. That's it.
And you don't have a phone with you or anything like that? Do you have a phone?
I have one I use just for like reading and stuff. I use it as like a phone.
Where's that at? The house? What type of phone is that?
Kimberly Sanderson, Look Child or something.
I'm saying to make a pizza.
Probably on the floor I move.
Who's else to be wearing the RV for that Saturday?
I'm at park down.
A month or so soon? A month?
Yeah, after we parked it there, we haven't touched it.
Neither one of you guys? Where's the keys? Where are the keys at?
Somewhere, I'm sure. We'll probably walk into it.
What do the keys look like?
Just right
One
there.
more time. Come on,
Before
come on, come on, come on.
key.
Regular what?
Like, before key, but
Ford?
I should just be working on my dailies right now.
silver key card, and I think it's on a lanyard, I think they're called. I'm not sure. I don't remember the word. I think it's a sausage.
Sausage?
Something.
What's that?
It's from River.
For what?
River.
What's that?
TV show based off of Archie comics.
Oh. Okay.